Hey guys, I'm sure some of you are wondering, what in the world? Why has he got 2 pages of notes and stuff like that? Actually, this is like really easy, and this should be like less than 10 minutes for you. So let's go ahead and get started. If you look at page 1, where it has a theorem and things like that, the biggest thing that you need to know is if you're not given a graph and you're just given a polynomial, like you are on page 2, so number 6 is through 11. If you want to know how things are on the right-hand side, you plug in 1 for the highest value, the highest power of x. And if it comes out positive, then it's going up. If it comes out negative, then it's going down. For the left-hand side, then you plug in -1. And if it becomes positive, it's going up. And if it comes out negative, then it's going down. Numbers 1 through 5 should be really easy for you. I gave you a couple graphs. Now let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 is a basic quadratic function. What is happening as x approaches infinity? So in other words, here's your x and y axis. As you go more and more to the right, go more and more this way, what's happening here? Well, as x approaches infinity, f of x is also approaching infinity, because what's happening? It's going up. Now, what about as x approaches negative infinity? So as x approaches negative infinity, then f of x approaches what? Well, what's happening here? If I'm going this way, my function is still going up, so that's going to be positive infinity again. So basically, guys, if the right-hand side is pointing up, it's going towards infinity. If the left-hand side is pointing up, it's going towards infinity. If either side is pointing down, it's going towards negative infinity. So what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at number 2 really quick. You have this wonderful little function. Here's your x and your y. Not exactly the same, but it's close enough. So again, as f of x approaches... I'm sorry. Let me restate that. As x approaches infinity, so this is the right-hand side because it's positive, f of x also approaches what? Infinity. What about for the other side? As x approaches negative infinity, what happens to f of x? Well, it's pointing down, so that's negative infinity. Okay? So I'm going to leave number 3, 4, and 5 for you. Okay? Now, if you want to put this in words, number 1, what happens? The right is rising. And what about the left? The left is also rising. So if I ask you to put it in words using rising or falling, that's all you got to do. Okay? This is the describe part. All you got to do is tell me what's happening on the right and the left. What about on number 2? Well, the right was rising. Well, what's happening on the left? It's going down, right? So that means it's falling. I'm hoping this is a lot of common sense for you guys. Okay. I'm going to leave numbers 3, 4, and 5 for you. All right. And then let's look at page 2 of your notes. Okay. Let's take a look at number 6 first. You have f of x equals 4x to the 4th minus 6x cubed minus 8. Well, as x approaches infinity, what does f of x do? Well, how do I figure that out? What's my highest value of exponent? It's 4, right? So all I do is I plug in 1 to that part. So I have 4 times 1 to the 4th power, or 4 times 1, or 4. Now, is 4 positive or is it negative? It's positive, so what am I going to do? There we go. Okay, so as x approaches negative infinity, what's happening? Well, instead of putting positive 1 in, I'm going to put in negative 1. So I have 4 times negative 1 to the 4th, which equals 4 times 1 again, because negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So I get 4. So that is also going to infinity. So f of x is equal to, or approaches infinity. Not equal to, it just approaches. So description, right and left are rising. Guys, it's that easy. Okay. I want to take a look at number 11. Okay. So that you can get a feel for that one. Number 11 says f of x is equal to 4x to the 5th minus 7x to the 9th plus 6 all over 10. First, identify which one of these is the highest power. Oh, it is this one. Okay. So all I do is when I go to do these, I'm going to put positive 1 in as x approaches infinity. F of x will approach what? Well, if I put positive 1 in, I got negative 7 times 1 to the 9th over 10. Well, that's going to be negative 7/10. So that approaches negative infinity. And then for the other part, as x approaches negative infinity, f of x approaches what? Well, I've got negative 7 times negative 1 to the 9th over 10. Well, negative 1 to the 9th is negative 1 times negative 7 is positive 7, so I'm going to get positive 7/10. So that means that this is approaching infinity. So that means that to the right, we rise. Oops, sorry. Wow, didn't see how bad that I wrote that. So to the right, we fall because it's approaching negative, and to the left, it's approaching positive number, so we rise. That's it, guys. What I would like you to do is do the other problems that we didn't do, so 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And like I said, I was going to keep it under 10 minutes, nice and short, and enjoy your weekend.